Alright, so I'm going to just watch the convoy come in case there's some sort of surprise. Laughs and cup armor, yeah, right? Ay, ay, ay. Oh shit, it lets me see the acre inventory. That's weird. Because they are running acre for this one. So we'll watch the lead Vic. Looks like they put some civilian stuff for showpieces on the way. That's nice. Yeah, so I can cycle through the different vehicles here with the arrow keys. Would you make a horror escape room? I mean, that would also be cool. But again, guys, you have to understand this. I am very, very peculiar with my time. Because my time is literally money at this rate. Because it's tied to all of this. So I have to make sure I'm keeping that going, you know? If I do something that isn't for any monetary gain, then it has to be, you know, for my own enjoyment. Like this, for example. This is purely for my own enjoyment. Because, again, it's always fun to watch a community operate to see what you can learn and take from it to then adapt to your own policies for. Now, I am going to be looking on thermals here just at the towns they're passing because I want to see if there's going to be any side ambushes. I doubt it. For Milsim groups, usually things are really cut and dry. Which is why we have these zones here to illustrate enemy forces. And then once in a blue moon, you'll actually have a change to the plan. That's how the 506 generally does it, which I find pretty interesting. So that way it always keeps you on your toes of, okay, it's probably going to go fine, but what if this is the 1 in 10 where we get ambushed along the way, you know? Still keeps you going. I don't think Stone's gonna be here anytime soon, if ever. Him and I had a pretty nasty falling out. Which is unfortunate. He's a great guy. I just got caught up with a bunch of stuff and didn't DM him about something. Yeah. To clarify, Stone is different from Stone Willow Tree, but that's why we haven't seen Stone around in a few months. And he was pretty cool, man. Like, what he did for a living was super cool. CWC checked in during FNF. I haven't seen him in forever. That was pretty nice. He's a good guy, too. Ibanek, I personally prefer spectating PvP. Just because these days it's a little hard for me to find something in Zeus that, you know, surprises me, but I always look because I like it when I'm pleasantly surprised in that category. And it's through this where I learn better things as a Zeus. So I prefer spectating PvP. I absolutely hate playing PvP, though. I will always prefer to play PvE. Just because my first few Arma 3 PvP experiences were eh. Now, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy... Oh, look, they're actually having the tractor pull over. I do enjoy... What's that flashing on it? It's just, that's the gas coming out of it, making a texture glitch on the corner. That's pretty funny. I do enjoy going on public servers. Not King of the Hill, because King of the Hill can be a little cancerous, but public servers that are, you know, vanilla, like the... Control Odessa, and then just using third person and having like an hour where I turn my brain off and just murk a bunch of people. But like FNF, Coalition, Severe's Arma Finland stuff, AFI, that's it. Or even what we do in TSB, it just gets stressful. Because usually what happens is people run off and start doing their own thing. And I mean, that's what happened when I commanded an FNF round against Barb. Like, I told people what to do, and they just kind of... They followed it, but they didn't do execute it how I wanted it to happen, and things just completely fell apart, and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing at this point. Because I absolutely hate when I sit down and I feel like I wasted my time. And more often than not, for PvP stuff, I feel like I wasted my time. The one exception I had was Coalition 9. No, it was 8. Yeah, I skipped 9. Coalition 8, where I was under Severe and we were doing the US versus Russian stuff, because I knew it was probably going to get scuffed, and then the balance of assets was a little scuffed in itself. But, I mean, for that last hour, I was literally just sneaking behind people and executing like 5 or 6 dudes. And then stealing weapons and playing to weapon PID. Alright, so we have some US forces here. So I think there's going to be a roleplay instance here.
Man. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. We are here on time, so I think we will.
So this is the US coming around here.
We can rush
as the Czechs do this side stuff.
Just say we go.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Should I command my men now?
Give me a second.
Yeah, Sparky, I'll be interested in that. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a difference between pure PvP and roleplay PvP. I absolutely love roleplay PvP. Like, Checkpoint RP would fall under that category. Anything Ravage related, I love. Anything Fallout, I love. But, you know, just pure PvP doesn't really suit my fancy to play. But again, love to spectate it. How you doing? What's that? Oh, God, you're joining the Czech puns. No. No, I didn't even read it. Oh, you... Dang. It would be on Halloween at the usual time. Is Halloween on a Sunday? Oh, shit. I'm gonna have to talk with Bloodwing then, because I know she's probably gonna want to go out, so maybe I run one operation. This also means, though, that... Oh, God. Let me check Google Calendar real quick, just to make sure that that doesn't follow on an MCO weekend. Because if it does, that's gonna be... I'm gonna have to fix that immediately. So the next one's on the 29th. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it falls on the week before. Good. Because I would get that moved ASAP. What's that? I'm in the spectator interface. I don't get access to radio. I can only hear them locally. But it looks like they've told the Americans to start their attack into the town, and the Czechs are going to break off and hit that area. So once they deploy, let's actually go look back at that area, see if there's anything that's been added. So it looks more or less the same. I'd imagine maybe a squad being spawned in as Cura, but then again, based on the fact that the section's right here, I doubt it. Next area still doesn't have anything new. We still have that briefing area over there, and then some units back here, and a little bit of an ambush posture. So yeah, nothing too wrong there. The only threat I really see to the players here is the RPG-26, which, granted, with it being the first engagement, you generally don't want to have a lot of heavy-hitting units on the front line, unless you want it to be one of those ops. But those ops, quote-unquote, you don't want to do all the time, because then your players are just going to not enjoy the ops, per se. And to define what those ops are, it's the op where you just literally dick the player base. Like, you give them a really difficult opening engagement, and more often than not, they're going to buckle under the pressure of it. But I would say, like, once every month or 2 months is a good time to do one of those ops. But, yeah, opening engagement should be fine. I think they're going to make it harder as they come in along here. Yeah, so the Zeus has the U.S. forces going in. They're spawning some contact to make some ambient gunfire. Yeah, so they had that. Now, generally, what I've found is better to do is if you're having some ambience in the distance, usually there's some sound files you can take to make that ambient gunfire, but it's actually really quiet, ironically. So it's better, in my opinion, to either, if you're running low on server resources, give a, whatchamacallit, do a suppress fire command, but that means you have to micro them a little harder. So the other ways you could do it is you can either set a squad to invincible and have the, you know, units just duke it out, because that'll create a bunch of ambient noise. Or if they have air assets and they could potentially see that happening, use invisible targets from CBA. The issue with those, though, is you have to have them pre-spawn in a corner somewhere, because if you don't, you spawn one in, you crash the server. So, you know, things that you have to have pre-planned when you're making scenarios like that. But I think they're just letting that force go in, and then they're going to move over and assist. What's really cool, though, is...
6 now.
Been a bit Liru. Hope you having fun, and so is the player base. Keep up the good work.
Hey, Red Wagon, thank you for the 7-month resub, my man. I hope you keep enjoying the operations as well, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. You know, this scenario is just going to turn into me commentating about, like, ways to do various different Zeus things. And actually, I kind of like where that's going. But another scenario that's really rare, but also really cool to do once in a while, because, again, it helps with the subversion of expectations, is take the entire plan that the players have done, say they're working with an allied element, but then say the allied element, like, put some explosions in the distance, say the allied element gets completely fucked, and now they have to become the QRF to help them. So everything they planned out is now done, and now they have to help with the main fight instead, as another unit is scrambled to deal with the side operation. You know what I mean? So then you can also have QRF come from that other zone, do the attack, since now only one force is going in because you're trying to reinforce that main force that went in on the, what would be considered the main attack, because this is definitely the main attack with these two major cities compared to these small areas. And that is also a good way to subvert expectations. I remember, I want to say, like, year 3 of TSB in, like, 2019 and 2020, I would actually have a schedule. So, like, once 2 months went by, I would do this type of op. Once 1 month went by, I would do this type of op. And I would cycle things out to keep everything fresh. But now I don't really do that because I just have spent a year doing whatever I really wanted. Really just tackling the exotic concepts on my now, like, 183-page backlog. So they're going to go up and then take a right over here. What does concern me a little bit is that this AO is really, really open, but there isn't really a better way to assault this position, so they're probably just going to have the IFE portions of the APC, the autocannons cover the infantry. And I believe the helicopter's still at base because it's just dedicated for reinserts. I don't actually know what their medical is. Let's take a look at that real quick. They also have a lot of interesting mods down there, also using Acre, which is, I don't know, I'm more of a TFAR guy compared to an Acre guy, but with Acre, there's so many advanced things you can do with it, which makes me think Acre is best for PvP, and TFAR is good for PvE. That's my stance on the matter. Because for PvE, you just want to keep things simplistic. But if you want to do hardcore roleplay, by all means, go Acre. But most people are a lot more casual. Anyway, digression aside, where is medical? Alright, what do we got? Set server side. Ooh, splints heal, but you can't sprint if you have a fracture, and the fracture chance 65%. And I've seen them fighting dudes with AKMs, which are 7.62. That's brutal. Yeah, they are doing Milsim settings 7.5. Oh. Fatal damage source is either Oh, these are some pretty nasty medical settings. Oh. This means one dude could literally just murk an entire group. So now I understand why they have 3 autocannon APC, IFE APCs, but wow, 0.9 for the bleeding. I do appreciate that they at least turned it down a little bit, acknowledging that the default 1 ratio is cancerous. But that IV transfusion rate, oof, that's going to take a little while. Advanced bandages on too. Oh, and reopen. Yeah, no, this is some hardcore medical here. They're definitely going pedal to the metal on realistic medical. I like it. So, in my opinion, these are always really fun to spectate because you can literally have one guy completely fuck everything over. My opinion, I personally don't like to play with hardcore medical like this, but I love watching it because it forces the players to be super tactical and take things super slow, because if they don't, they're fucked. But this is as Milsim as you can get, I would say. Ooh. So I do apologize if I scroll in and out and there's a bit of a stutter. That's just kind of Roche on its own. The map can get a little framey, which is why I tend not to use it. Yeah, so this is their dismount plan. So the 502nd, excuse me, is one community, the 43rd is another. So they're going to divide into 2 pincers here and just move up and attack this position. Now, I would imagine that the IFVs are going to murk this immediately. The gunner is turning right, which means he's grouped up with some of the infantry. If he wasn't grouped up, he would be just facing forward. So I don't know where he's grouped up with specifically. That also means that Vic is out of fuel. Or they just garrisoned the Vic. Or turned his pathing off to just disable his movement. I'd be a little worried about this guy, because when you give AI marksman rifle with it's not the rifle that does the accuracy bonus, it's the scope. The AI will perform more accurately with more powerful scopes. So if you put like a fucking LRPS on a submachine gun, that dude will start sniping motherfuckers. It's actually really funny. They're just checking out the local fauna. Sam, I swear, I'm gonna strangle you, man. Oh yeah, having a hardcore medical system definitely discourages lone wolfing. That's a guarantee. All right, so we got a wedge going and a partial wedge going. Oh, they've got full command crews and all the IFEs, and they got an extra one in here. Yeah, so one team. They got a Vic coming. Or are they just driving around in the back? I think they're just waiting on QRF, but... Does this mean we can actually listen in on the nets? I actually don't know. I've never used Acre on the spectator interface. I'd imagine so.
Máme nějaký sázky, že dostaneme od panduru?
Ne.
Kejbak už to točtěm na ty stromy, jo?
I think these are potatoes. They look like, at least. And they got some trimmed wheat over here.
Všechny zástup v těch keřích.
Yeah, no, so I can actually click on them and listen to... Oh, so I can hear individuals' calls on the net. Neat. Never knew that. So here, I'll let you guys decide. Do you want to listen to the 43rd or the 502nd? Just type 43 or 502 if you want to listen to one group or the other. And yet they sound like AI because we fight AI that speak Czech all the time. All right, people saying 502. All right. So they have been the less tactical one compared to the guys that did the full-on wedge. Yeah, so these guys are all on block 3 with their short ranges. And then we had one guy with some 152s. These are, I think, meant to. They're on channel 1 because you can actually see what they're set to. So that'll let you listen to the squad net, actually a platoon level net. And then we got one guy back there, who I guess is either a late join or reinsert, or who knows. So that would mean Spooky is the lead element, but that also is why he has the symbol over him.
Můžu dotaz, Spooky?
Neptej se, jestli můžeš dotaz, a ptej se rovnou.
You see on the top right.
Případně nástřelu budeme dál postupovat v pískokách. Příjem.
Cool.
Jo, hele, to zní jako plán, to můžeme udělat tak. Půjdete první, když tak.
4 zde 2, jenom na chvilku zastavuju a děláme naslouchačku všem.
Fuck, how do I hide the compass? I forgot.
2, 4, rozumím.
Oh, I don't think FNF is ever going to switch to... Yeah, K doesn't work. It's a different key binding for the Zeus interface. So it looks like they're going to pull back and possibly get in the riverbed here. I can only imagine they notice this right here.
Jo, hele, teďka to tam...
4 zde 2, vyrážíme zase vpřed.
A pokračujeme dopředu. Vyrážíme dopředu.
4, tady Kuran 4, dej si pozor, na 82 od nás se v budovách před váma v druhém patře obedou
2, 4, rozumím. Pokračujeme taky.
You know what one of my new goals is? It's to put some footage out there that some random news station mistakes as actual footage and put it in some news report. Because I think they did that to Operator Drewski, right? That was pretty funny.
Pavle, potvrdí, máš vizuál na toho nepřítele, kde přijímala?
Right, Obenek, see you in 2 weeks.
Ano, jich je tam víc, to
How you
tam
doing,
moc
Thomas?
nehroď. Horší jsou nějaký BFK nebo Hilux nebo tyhle věci.
Mně jde o to, že tenhle, nevím jak, já vidím jenom jeden jediný kontakt a tenhle má krásný vizuál na
They did
celou
one in
hranici,
Russia
tak
too.
ve chvíli, kdy se otočí, tak já
It was Turkey that did the one with Operator Drewski, if I remember correctly. And then Russia also did one.
Tuhle vzdálenost tím děláme víc.
Bude flákanec, macha.
They took some of his footage and a news station, I think Turkey, used it as like factual military stuff, which was pretty funny.
Zastavte se na moment.
They also used footage from a mobile game and from COD. Yeah, exactly.
Nástřel? Vybíhají doprava do toho baráčku s červenou střechou.
Pokračujeme přískokama, modrá, vyražte.
Freaking mini-me's, man. So you're hearing the dudes with the marksman rifle start to open up.
Moderáka je červená, můžete.
Červená jde.
Oh, is he firing with a G3 with bolt action? Jesus.
Tady 4 pokračujeme přískok.
I don't know if that's an R-Seed guy or an AI.
Červená kraje, můžete jít, modrá.
The IFVs are all the way back there. That's about a kilometer to a kilometer and a, yeah, no, a kilometer and a half engagement range. Which, granted, yeah, you can range the Pandora up that far.
My vás zatím můžeme nějak podpořit a pak vás dotáhneme.
We've got 3 guys pushing us, 3 guys overwatch. Yeah, this guy is gonna start firing at him.
Jdeme.
You good, dude? He keeps hitting the fucking dirt. Bro, you're horribly overrange. Bro! Stop
Nemůžu tě
it!
koordinovat individuálně. Nějak to poraď, okay? Beru to na vědomí.
Oh, he's trying! Do it again.
Dobrý, červená krev.
I believe in you. There goes the truck. So I don't think anyone's noticed that far left side. But these guys are starting to move into the engagement range of that guy. He can't be out of ammo. The only reason I think he'd stop shooting is because he ran out of ammo. Oh, he totally ran out of ammo. That's funny. So we got another guy right here who's still gun lowered. I'm not sure if he's obstructed by the bush.
Rozumím, na chvilku stojíme, červená ještě, než nás doběhne Patrix. Modrá, pak to stáčejte víc na southeast.
Oh, no, he's active again. I'd be willing to bet you $5 he's RC right now. Because the AI would not have stood up.
Dobrý, červená jde.
Mark 11 firing back. Now you got the AK firing, you can actually see him right there.
Normálně červená stojíme, co tam vymýšlíte vzadu?
Snažil se on níst. Přibližil se k nám azimut 59 northeast.
So we got Mr. Lee Enfield in a tree over here. Marksman's dead. AKM, the guy just died.
No si ho není úplně nejchytřejší, protože nemůžeš střílet ty ani on.
Ah, here we go. Some QRF coming in.
V rovnici pokračujeme spolu všichni dopředu.
2 Vicks full.
Vyráží červená.
Oh, one is an M2. All right.
Potvrzuju. Už tam budem skoro.
Fed M2 gets in a good position. It could probably slaughter 1 or 2 of these guys. The turret AI for vehicles and static guns can be quite brutal. Where the heck are they going? They're probably deploying right here so the IFV can see them. The reason he shot was that was an RC, so he's now spraying the infantry. But in Milsims, they generally don't try to kill people.
Tady zvoní. My vás krajíme s červenou. Taky jsem to schytal.
I love that one, where they glitch out while they're jumping out, and they just stand like that. But yeah, when you have a hardcore medical system, usually you don't have the Zeus's RC to shoot people, because that, even 1 bullet wound can slow the entire push down.
Pokračujeme dopředu.
They're now trying to smoke to advance. We still have a few stragglers running around over here. So I think there's 2 Zeuses. And I think they've set themselves to invisible, so I can't see them. But there were 2. It was Nomas and another guy. Oh, one dude just got knocked out. Someone on the left side now shooting.
Hunter down. Na azimutu 40 Ronan klečí, já ho nedostřelím místo smoky.
This is a really tough advanced sector.
Jistě azimu 40? 40 u toho stromu. Počkej, já to tam pokropím gulometom. Ivo, dostal to? Jo, Hunter je ošetřený, můžeme pokračovat.
Dobrý, potvrzuju, pokračujeme dopředu na east, přijme east. A chůz jdem. Jak moc jste na tom špatně, jestli tref, Pavle? No, jako jsme docela raněný, no.
The other groups to their right to support.
Kontakt.
Jaký KIA?
Na eastu, za plotem.
Negativní.
Gee, Zam, I can't get it out of my head because, yeah, they do sound like AI.
Přímo za tím plotem.
Tam za...
Sound like the AI we normally fight. Yes, this building's fully loaded. Is that a handgun? Yeah. PO7. Falcon is PvE. I thought it was PvP too, but I misread it. So another Vic came up as QRF.
Tom cílovým domě, jeden.
Oh. Yeah, so they're trying to harass the IFVs. They got one of the drivers turned out so he can watch. I'd imagine it would be first person locked.
Dobrý, od Pandoru info, že na levý části u toho červeného baráku je hodně kontaktů. Pokračujeme.
Může tam někdo naměřit, hodíme tam granáty.
Vlastně to může být tak 70 metrů.
He's reloading it. We still have dead standing, man.
Modrá vstupuje
Other
doprava
groups
už.
moving in. Someone got shot.
Jo, potvrzuju.
Yeah, rock pile with the Helix is a real thing. It's rare, but pretty cool.
Jsme ve městě, budeme to tady čistit všem.
So one of them got dropped. You still have Mini-Me Man over here.
2 tady 4 při... chystáme se k centru.
Scoped
přímo
guy with the
červený
Lee
zóny.
Enfield still here.
Tam asi za 20 sekund.
Guys getting caught in the open.
My jsme na pravém okraji kruhu všem.
It's because it's Arma 3 Acre Falcon. So is he trying to pick off the driver that's turned out on the Pandor? Uh-oh.
Kontakt u cihlový. Běží doprava.
That was a direct hit.
Nevidím, nemám vysol, zaběhl jsem tu. No, už mám. Myslím, hážeš červené světlice, je to někdo z nás?
2 tady. Opakujte.
Někdo mi sem hodil pod nohy červenou
There's a few
světlici,
guys in
může to
here.
něco značit.
Oh, now I think they noticed. Because it pulled out from its hidden position. And they're carrying up a guy. Alright, so we still have a garrison here, there. He's dead. Mini-me guy's still alive. I'm not sure if there's anything else.
Stávám to.
Jackal got shot to shit again. That Humvee just exploded.
Nemám ani jednu ruku.
Ooh, jeez. That was a headshot.
Medic.
Mini-me guy is dead. He got picked off from that little window.
Prosím tě, tady dopředu, pojď.
Now you got the other group coming in.
Už jdu.
So one of them's doing the crippled walk.
Prosím tě.
I mean, I guess the PvP aspect is when the Zeus RCs, but he's not trying to kill him, so.
Oh.
Whew. Ah, so this group's being engaged. Ouch.
Oprota 4 si trap. Prosím tě, hele, healujem se tady a furt postupujem dopředu.
Cibulko? Ano?
Yeah. Oh,
Tam už budou naši, macha.
that man dead.
Pravý část jsou naši.
ještě krevní tlak, jo?
Jackal down. Super. I volnej klehnu.
So that was Jackal that died.
Hodíte mi smoke? Hodíte mi smoke?
Napad.
I think they could have gotten a little closer with their, That's an MG42. Are there two of them running around up there? Yeah, no, there's two Zeuses. Wait, no, that guy's just running around like a normal AI. He's moving around because he was tied to this guy's garrison. He must have been the squad leader after the other guys died, and it auto-generated to him. So now the other AI are running around. Which means they do garrisons via syncing them to the one module. Oh, buddy, you shouldn't reload in the open like that.
Ale já za chvilku padnu, jo?
Yeah, the AA site.
Jo, super.
Jak?
Já jenom hodím defibrilátor volnekovi a jdu na to druhýho tady, v tom baráčku možná.
I just heard a defib go off, so we got a KAT medical too. So they have airway management and shit.
A nebo ten úplně ten druhý nosačky.
They're grenading him.
Máme tady jednoho omráčenýho zatím.
Oh, he's dead. He's in the unconscious knockout position. But yeah, no, I think the best way that they could have assaulted this position was dismount one group, pop UGLs over where they sighted enemy forces, and then had the IFEs just annihilate where the smoke was to prevent anything from pushing through the smoke to engage, and then dismount right in front of the smoke, and then pull the IFVs back out of harm's way. Like, that would have been the perfect way to do it. Also, it's a badass way to do it.
Vedení modrý přebírá pro tentokrát i Volnek na moment.
But the risk with that is, you know, what if something comes through the smoke and boops your Vic with AT? That's why that one IFE with the team that's popping the smokes on top of the enemy's positions to obscure their lines also needs to be suppressing the shit out of that smoke to stop anyone from crossing it.
Zde 2 máme zatím jenom lehce zraněný, ošetřujeme. Příjem.
Yeah, so Jackal's back there.
Tady 4 potvrzuju, jsme na tom hodně podobně.
Oh, cool, so when they die, it auto-checks them off.
Tady a budeme postupovat dál.
And someone else is medicing. He just got shot. Ah, yeah, you gotta clear the area before you do that. Because if you just go up and start applying medical, then you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. I just saw the muzzle flashes from over here. Ah, there he is. Oh, shut up, Sam. See you later, Sunday.
Ve jménu věčného Allaha.
Dole. Píčo.
Vydám.
Si ho nevidel prichádzať? V dome je ďalší. V dome v okne sa prehnal ďalší.
So there's been 2 KIA so far. But I think that is going to be it for this first attack. So now they're going to lick their wounds and then push on to the next area.
4 zde 2, hlásím jedno KIA teďka všem.
Yeah, so they're just announcing that I think that was the second KIA guy.
Tady 4 potvrzuju, taky máme jedno.
So we still have, there's a few guys crouched here. 2 guys in the forest, and this is still happening, this quote-unquote brief, but everyone's looking over to the gunfire. And he's still in his animation, that's funny. Is he still infinitely grabbing? Yes, he is. Yeah, not a bad opening engagement on the Zeus side. RCs were a little heavy, but I get it to, you know, keep the AI dynamic. It's just in these situations, you generally don't want to shoot players unless they absolutely deserve it. But in the times where I think that one happened, that was right, because you don't want to start medicing a guy. And if you can't carry or drag him, then you know he's dead. Because I'm not sure there's a way to actually program that to be a thing. IFVs were used well to cover. There could have been a better insert way, but the one they did was alright. This isn't 1 life, no. But it takes them a while to reinsert in. So they have to take a heli.
Prosím tě, hele, zasekli jsme se tady i dvojka se tady teďka zasekla, jsme tak nějak uprostřed té červené zóny, po nás nic nestřílí momentálně.
Now, if you really wanted to sweeten the deal, once in a while, you could have an a set to invincible squad of Americans fight any squad of guys over here, since air is not being used to overwatch anything, to at least have that audio in the background to remind everyone that this is like a joint effect operation. But I do like how the Zeus is kind of keeping it to, you know, that area that he's marked. I think one decent surprise across this territory where they find units that they don't expect would be a good call, but because this is supposed to be like a counter-insurgency style operation, so, you know, insurgents, they don't really stick to a military plan. They're able to adapt and throw things around. I don't know, McQuag. I'm not a big fan of environmental audio because usually that goes under the music tab, and a lot of people have their music tabs turned off, especially if they stream, because they don't want to stream any copyrighted music, so I don't really think there needs to be any environmental audio per se. It makes sense that there's no civs here, though, because the insurgents came, and they're all just either, like, hiding or they fled. Put in some audio of a guy making gun sounds. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant, Sam. Goober. Now, what the IFVs should actually be doing at this point is while the infantry are clearing in here, there's no reason for the IFVs to still be at this angle, and especially since they have 3, they should have one going around one way, one going around the other, and they should be checking the outskirts of the town and also looking at Overwatch. So if anything, 2 should be going around this flank, and then maybe 1 around that way. But if they want to be really defensive about it, they could have all 3 going, because now they're actually going to have them enter the town. And this is where they are the most vulnerable. If anything, since that's the next area you want to go, you want to have an IFV over here to overwatch that next area to make sure there's no QRF coming from it. Especially if that's the marked area, you know? That's just my 2 cents on the matter. Because especially, I mean, if you're going in here alone, just because they have to have a lot of trust on that intel then, because this is still enemy-held town. Having an IFV go off on its own like this when you've found dudes with M136s and RPG-26s is a very risky idea. But, you know, some groups are just used to having everything marked out for them in the mission brief, which is perfectly fine. It's how they want to play. But most Zeuses I know would have something extra in here. But again, to each their own, you know? So if there's open trust that there's not going to be anything here, then by all means, bring the IFVs in. I still think 1 overwatching the next enemy area would be a good call, but I think they're just folding them in to possibly get ready to remount everyone. Honestly, like, in my mindset, I think they aren't going to remount. They're going to walk this, but if I was in charge of this one, I would remount, and I would just have 1 IFV on Overwatch, and I would, again, smoke that tree line, send the IFVs in, deploy them at the end of the tree line, and then, again, pull them back. And then have them all Overwatch. You'd have 1 IAV covering the left, 1 on the right, and then 1 on the dead center. Really, though, what I would be worried about is that right side tree line. Even though it's not technically in the AO, you never know, because you're doing an insurgency-style operation. Alright, Devour. Not sure if I'll play around with it till I get back, and then even then, we'll see. Which one's the Forced Unleash? Is that the second one? I could probably get through the first out of the 3 and only ask a few questions. Oh, what's that?
Davido?
Oh god. Oh god.
Jaký bílý vrtulník na... Jo, to je naše uháčka, jenom, jo.
Davido?
Ano.
Potřebuješ ještě krev nebo něco, máš všechno?
Všechno v pořádku.
Zajedané, hlaste stav.
Luboš a ty?
V pohodě, díky.
Okay. Ale mě klidně můžeš doplnit.
Borci, když to takhle na blízko, nemluvte do vysílačky, já potřebuji komunikovat s Tyronem.
Medický zásoby, tak si rychle můžeš...
Moment, řeším teďka tady tu M113.
Jasný.
Rozumím.
Já tam mám pandur, takže...
You know, I don't know the term for panic in the Czechoslovakian language, but I think I understood it.
Hej, měl jsem tady teďka chaos, najela do nás M113, zlikvidovaná, vracím se na OP uniform.
Sparky, to my knowledge, Redux is the most FPS intensive one. 2035 should be fine. The good old smoke circle.
Nějaký medický, když tak tam můžete někoho poslat, přivezou nám lidi a pak budeme pokračovat dál.
Jo, rozumím, máme medický
Right, the
pandury,
Force
takže
Unleashed
pak
is
nebudeme
Vader's
s pandurou
apprentice,
tím.
my bad. Force Awakens is the other one.
Jo, pro všechny, náš pandur je na OP uniform, tak tam k němu doběhneme všem.
We're doing all right, Hot Shot. Bloodwing just panic cleaning the house. It's one of those days. We're gonna go do an escape room later, and I'm just gonna mess with her.
Jako my ti couvrem trošku víc do města, abyste nebyli tak na otevřeném prostranství.
See, now, if they had if they had the people on that flagship disable the shields earlier and then, like, just made a statement to say they're not gonna detect this for another few hours. Like, there's, what bugs me is there's so many little things that they could have done to actually fix that movie for the most part. Minus the whole side plot for finding the hacker guy. That made absolutely no sense. They could have done something better with that time. But everything else, other than Holdo's side plot, if they just had her explain her reasoning earlier, instead of keeping the audience in the dark, because that's exactly what they were doing. They were just trying to keep the audience in the dark by making, fucking what's-his-face look like an ass. That movie needed so many fixes, but the overall plot was okay. But it needed so much fix. God damn it. Alright, looks like they're starting to mount up again. I'm gonna turn on the radio cues for these guys, which are, again, they're the 43rd. So we'll just interchange between radio comms with the two major squads. I don't know. Star Wars, I'm just sticking to random Star Wars missions from communities I like or ones that I make myself. Not dealing with any Star Sims, because if you've been with me for a while, you know my tastes and preferences on that regard. And also, so long as the server doesn't kick me out while I'm playing.
Zajerone, čekáme, až to poničíte a budeme postupovat,
Alright, so we have a small group here.
Tam není co ničit, já nechápu, po čem si kurva střílí. Oky nestřílej.
There's something causing frame spikes, which is a little worrisome.
Jo, rozumím. Hoplica 4, můžeme postupovat před, příjem.
Tyrone, 040 se mrkví, jo? Jsou tam na kraji lesa, jsou tam nějaký kontakty.
A ten už je zlikvidovaný, klid.
Myslím, že tam furt je člověče, ale nevím.
Modrá vpravo, zelená vlevo, jo? Modrá připraven.
Platz, I hope that reasoning then is so you can just show what bad writing is, because there would be no other reason to really watch them, in my opinion. If you want Star Wars content, stick to
My
Legends.
teďka nejspíš budeme postupovat s vama, jo? Budeme přímo za vama, s tím pandurem. Nebo spíš nalevo od vás.
Tyrone, něco z 030, jo? Nějaká palba.
Oh, balls. Yeah, where's the freaking HE autocannon? That should be lighting that fucking tree line up. It's a forest. There should be no threats of, or no risk of civilian property or life, so they should be just fucking up that forest. I guess to keep their ammo conserved.
Ale ještě jdeme po otevřeným, jdeme v klínu, až dorazíme na okraj lesa, vemem to do dojnice. 2 tady 4 potvrzuju.
You guys remember in the, like 90s and a bit of the early 2000s where, that was a good drop by that IFE, by the way, where they had a bunch of, you know, people of color characters or, female characters that were just badass in their own right? Like, the Mummy series? That was good shit. And now everything is just Mary Sue and empowerment and all that bullshit. Oh, fuck, he's dead. Yeah, so, as what's that said with the first AO? Smoke, Overwatch, and then quick dismount, because if you're caught in the open like this, you're fucked. That's exactly what's happening here. So now they're trying to pop smokes to be defensive, but hell, I mean they've got an air asset, right? Do a fucking rocket strike on the edge of the tree line to give yourself some breathing room to get your infantry in, you know? That would be a little smarter in this situation, if you ask me. Oh, those guys are all still out there. Oh God, a Bradley. It's getting the toes out. That was a miss. He needs to be maneuvering away unless he's disabled. In which case they need to pop. Yeah, so another one's coming. He needs to be like booking it here to assist. I think they have it disabled though. There's a dismount. So the reason for the Bradley is because the hostile faction has raided an abandoned US position that had a bunch of equipment on it. They're calling it he's down. Which I would have never believed that, but go look at what happened at Kudos Airport with the Taliban over the past week. And now I'll fucking believe that, man. That the US will literally just leave behind their shit. Anything's possible at that point.
Dandy, pokračujeme lesem rovně, jo? Pořád.
Čekám na kraji, jako, odrovnajte mě.
Go for it, Platts. I just consider the trilogy just bad fan fiction and leave it at that. The squad that we're listening to the comms of are on the right side. There's possibly a technical or a vehicle fleeing the scene. Alright, so that group that's here is now being deployed into the AO, so they're forming a defensive line. Forested combat is the most dangerous combat in Arma 3 because the AI are going to be able to see through the little nooks and crannies of the trees and snipe you through them. Whereas sometimes players aren't going to be able to have that luxury. Oh, I agree, Platts. Wait a minute. Did you fucking see that? Fucking... Huh. Bullets make us do crazy things, don't they? Also, I think someone just stepped on a mine.
stuff.
Or he was a mine layer and he planted one, because AI mods will have him do that, especially VCOM.
Mrkněte se po lidech, co se nehlásí.
Tady žijete?
Jo, já jsem tady nalevo v lese, zatím žiju.
Right up, Platts.
Máme kontakty severovýchod.
Hot shot, I've never played a Metro game, unfortunately. Yeah, so this AO is a little bit tougher because they just noticed that a Bradley came down, so the Vics need to be a little more cautious, but with the forest being this thick, it's really hard for vehicles to penetrate in to assist the infantry. That's again why forest fighting can be so difficult. That guy.
Dandyhle stav.
Byla tady 4, jsme se pokračujeme do centra.
So I don't know if these are random IEDs or mines that are going off.
Pošéfuj tam u sebe, kolik máš ztrát?
I'd imagine he tripped that, but...
Tady se mnou Hugo, Dandy to nejspíš stát. Nevíme vůbec, kde je.
Rozumím, zkus se po něm mrknout.
Rozumím.
4 zde 2, příjem.
Yeah, we got defensive line remain in that forest. Everyone else appears to be down.
2, jak jste na to?
Oh.
Prosím tě, hele, pokračujeme dopředu, ale máme tu miny.
Rozumím,
Volnik caught some shrapnel there.
Respektive zatím ho hledáme.
To jsem Dandyho,
Now, if I found out that I was going through a minefield, I would just pull the forces back and have them go up the MSR and have the APCs cover.
Jako hlaš stav.
Tyrone, 1 KIA, 2 těžce zraněný, řešíme to, příjem.
Rozumím, jestli budete potřebovat nějakého zdravotníka, zkusím se dostat z toho zvelení. Příjem.
Zatím negativní, pojď sem tady prohledat, příjem.
Kadlíku,
Luky,
jako
Luboš,
Kadlík je
napojď
mrtvej.
se na mě a budeme to pročesávat, jo?
2 tady 4, ten les je podminovaný a nemáme heal.
Jako opakuju, Kadlík je mrtvej.
Rozumím. 2, rozumím, takže vycouváme z lesa a budeme nějak řešit to s velením všem.
2 tady 4, přesně tak.
Jo, pro všechny, vycouvat na okraji lesa, les je zaminovaný a nemáme nic proti tomu. Tyrone, hlásím 2 KIA, jo?
So that line is now, I believe, been aggroed, which is why they're auto-taking cover now.
Spartanovi.
Yeah, he's left his animation. Or he was part of the group that's actually gone up. Can we find suppressed M4 man?
Tyrone, stáhli jsme se na okraji lesa, protože les je celý zaminovaný všem.
Because he's not here anymore. Yeah, it appears to be where they've brought up some of that US supplies.
Někam odběhl a trošku se zaseklo velení, takže nevím, co se teď bude dít, vole.
Jo, rozumím. Peťulko, pošetři si zraněný a pokud někdo bude potřeba potom vyloženě doktora, tak mi řekni, jo?
Hele, Davidou, že vzhůru, akorát ten Kadlík a jestli někdo jiný, nevím, nikdo se mi nehlásil.
Rozumím, Kadlík a Dandy jsou KIA.
OK.
Jo, všichni co můžete, buďte na okraji lesa, jo? Ať vidíte do toho lesíku.
What concerns me is this guy's carrying this guy on his own as these guys stay back here, and he's part of that group, so I'm not sure why no one's come up to assist him, you know? Maybe because they fear the minefield and now they're leaving this area. They don't want to send anyone else to potentially step on something. Which is the right call, but at least call for like one guy. I think one guy would be a good enough risk because you need that overwatch. One guy just carrying him back, that's a lot of work. Right, Hawkeye, thanks for jumping by.
4 zde 2, já vás vidím, jsem po vaší pravý straně na okraji lesa. Máme 2 KIA a 1 zraněnýho všem.
2 tady 4, rozumím, out.
So again, we just have that defensive line right there. I'm gonna start looking at the 3rd sector. Is there anything? Yep, all right, so they're starting to put stuff down. Appears to be just a fire team worth it. Oh, no, here's the other one. Jeez, they're so well in that even thermals are having a tough time detecting.
Jo, rozumím. 2 zde
They're told to stay at the forest edge and keep watch. Thank you. Please help translate. But yeah, no, that makes sense, because again, mine's...
Jak jsi na tom s těma zraněnýma? Potřebujete nějakou zdravotnickou pomoc nebo něco? Letí nám senka teďka medevac.
Peťulko, potřebujeme doktora.
Medevac.
Hele, ten jeden vodník je akorát dost na sračky, no, nemá puls zatím momentálně.
Tyrone, jeden spojenecký voják je tady totálně na sračky, takže asi bys tady hodil.
Hele, jestli to není z našeho družstva, tak se to vyřeší, vole, Trojan 4, to mě nezajímá. Ti si budou volat medevac nebo něco.
Jo, rozumím. Peťulko, potřebuje Davido? To, medika?
Hele, Davido je v pohodě celý, ale ten spojenecký se mu ošetřoval někam zmizel úplně totál, nevím.
Spojenecký. Opakuj, poslední. 4 zde 2, jenomže náš medic ošetřuje vašeho zraněnýho, který se teďka někam asi zmizel pod texturu.
Since wheeled Vics generally have thinner armor than tracked Vics. So I think one SPG-9 could actually just knock out a Vic entirely. So this is gonna be a very dangerous push. That lead Vic, when you have a 3 Vic convoy like this, lead Vic focuses on what's forward. Left Vic picks a direction, excuse me, not left Vic. Second Vic picks a direction, left or right, and then the third Vic goes the opposite direction. So lead Vic watches front, second Vic, if it watches left, third Vic needs to watch right. The one weakness is there's no rear security, but if there was a fourth Vic, then the fourth Vic would focus on rear security. If it was the last Vic. Now, if there were 5 Vics, you would have front, left, and then rear. 6 Vics, front, left, and then rear. Or you go right, left. It's just dependent on what the second vehicle chooses, and either they decide or their commanding element decides. So we've got front. Oh, no, there it is. Yeah, left and then right. SPG-9 just engaged. And that IFE was able to take it out. I made that IFE look forward. Now, yep, everyone's getting target fixated front, which is bad, because if there's stuff still on the left with AT, they're going to be able to smoke these. Now you got dismounts from that SPG-9 they're firing at. It looks like they're pushing past this position. Which again makes sense because it's technically out of the zone. Nope, they're actually pulling left. All right. I was about to say, because they've been really strict about their zones for this, so I wouldn't be surprised if they like pulled away from this spot. But they see vehicles and units, that should be a good enough tell for them that they need to dismount and check this out. See, now that I'm a little perplexed about, because you know there's contacts here, yet you're focusing right there and you're parked right next to it. If anything, that Vic that's further out should be focusing on that direction, but this Vic that went right there should be on that. So we just had a guy get into a Vic and try to pull VBIED, and if that Vic wasn't looking back, it would have been able to take out that APC because it was focused on the opposite direction. That's something I wish Arma AI would do. The infantry would actually shoot at the vehicles, because that happens all the time in real combat, but because of how the AI are coded, infantry generally don't shoot at armored Vics that they can't do anything to. But it's just harassment, and that's something that happens all the damn time, so I wish we had something like that. Usually what I have to do is I have to put invisible targets on the vehicle so the infantry will shoot at them.
Tam nějaký civilní kamaz, jo? Na 4, rozumím. Na kontakty, asi mrtví doufám. Lesa, jo?
Yeah, so it had infantry in the back of it, and you just saw a bunch of blood splatters from them getting hit. Now these guys are shooting at infantry coming around. This is what I'm worried about. That's an RC. Yeah, there's no way in the opening back of that particular building. So he's gonna come around on the left. But Dundee just came by and murked everything, but that IFE is exposed. But there's defilate in the way.
Pomalu k bílé budově.
Ooh. Gun disabled. Is it gonna blow up? Oh, well that blew up.
Luboš, Dandy zranění těžce.
Peťulka to dostal asi rovnou mrtvý.
Potřebujeme doktora, dva zranění.
What caused that?
A tady 4 potřebujete pomoc, můžeme vám tam poslat našeho medika. Jo, určitě budeme potřebovat, máme našeho medika zraněnýho.
Kadlík tady odpadl, potřebujeme...
So dismounting immediately to repair your Vic is a really bad idea. You generally want to pull back to cover before you do that, because you can't guarantee that the threat was eliminated.
Mezi nimi je i medic, jo, budeme potřebovat nejspíš doktora, příjem.
Rozumím.
Opakuji, medic je mrtev.
Tady 4, tak náš medic je taky dole. Jo, rozumím.
Yeah, 4 dudes died in that blast.
Takže tady máme teďka 2 těžce zraněný, příjem. Tyrone, jeden KIA, opakuju, je zdravotník, těžce zraněný, příjem.
I'm curious though what caused that.
Tam zdravotníka.
That was the ammunition and stuff.
Potřebuji, abyste dělali krytí, jo? Potřebuji, aby někdo kryl vest a south.
So either that was a trap or someone just blew it up. I will admit, that is a little too mean for my taste, but I know Zeus is like to rig stuff to explode. Actually, wait, yeah, no, that's yeah, it's an AI.
Jo, čumím na vest.
Rozumím, Luky, žiješ?
Jo, ošetřuju Kadlíka.
Rozumím.
Já nevím, ale jsi už je mrtvý.
2 medics downed out. Ah, so that took out the medic. Actually, there's a 5th guy dead. Yeah, so that explains the panic on the radio.
A 3 zraněný, správně, příjem.
Oh, they just threw a drone in the air.
Kadlík je taky KIA, jo?
Už tam za váma běží ten zdravotník.
Oh god, it's a government bird.
Odkaď to jde, kurva?
Something else just cooked off over here. I didn't see any texture there though, so I don't know what that explosion was, but that hit Loey. Knocked a tree over here. I'm worried about that Vic cooking off and killing Hunter. And then potentially blowing this building up and killing all these guys too. Yeah, there's quite a few guys down.
Negativně já navrhuji, aby jsme se vole co nejrychleji teďka sebrali a stáhli se zpátky pryč odsud, protože to tady je taky celý podminovaný.
Well, Cuba Jack, it's a Czech community, so that's why you hear Czechoslovakian. I'd assume you still call it that. Probably. Because I know Czechoslovakia changed to the Czech Republic. But in terms of languages, yeah, no, it's still the same. Dumb question for me to ask, I apologize.
Rozumím, my vás musíme potahat k autům všem.
Yeah, that follow-up explosion.
Ale Tyronet, druhý družstvo je úplně skoro dead, jo? Oni za chvilku prej odpadnou a nemáme tady tolik zdravotníků všem.
Rozumím, zahlasím.
4 zde 2, zkuste se rychle přesunout k vozidlům všem.
So they got one up in the air, they got another one on the ground here.
Tak ať ten jejich pandul sem dojede a nabere je rychle, vole.
The 3rd guy just went unconscious. They're gonna be tough to find in the knocked out trees. Ooh, this is brutal. You're out here about to start a race war between the Czechs and the Slovaks. So I'm sorry. Oh, chilling. I don't think that's a question to ask here. Ask the Scots why they don't like the Southerners. Oh, man. Alright, so I doubt anything is going to happen on the Zeus side because of the amount of KIAs that happened with those explosives going up. See, guys, this is why I don't trust birds, okay? Because on far away, this is clearly a flock of birds, right? Two birds. But on closer inspection, they're actually government surveillance drones, all right? They can just hold themselves in the air. They can just suspend themselves, all right? Bird shit, you know? That's what birds do. Ah, I see. One of the Czech players has turned on their cloaking device, but I guess the insurgents found him and are executing him. Man, that's another Czechoslovakian casualty there. Tough. Tough break. I'd imagine that helicopter's coming back with, nope, it's still in the air. Jeez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 reinserts. Yeah, they gotta really make sure that they get the guy. Isn't that close? I would assume it was probably a bad suppression command, because sometimes when you set up suppression, the AI won't lock to the target, and they'll just start shooting in a random direction. I am aware of that bug. It's a little annoying. But I think maybe they were trying to have him shoot at the IFE, which has repaired itself. Pretty funny either way.
Borci z našeho družstva, žijete ještě někdo? Borci z dvojky, žijete někdo? Ale Tyronem asi úplně všichni odpadli, vole.
Fajn, běžím tam za tebou.
See, I don't think the hill's in the way though, so I'm not sure what he's shooting at per se. Oh god, you have the shadows of the birds. Wait. Oh god, it's another drone, guys. They've got 3 in the air now, 4 in the air now. There we go. I've been waiting for that all day. I think the IFV is firing overhead here. Yeah, they got out of the striker and the gun's disabled. Now they're just firing at the infantry.
Tyro, nemáš někoho z našich?
Negativní, mám pouze nemám nikoho z našich, pouze mám Xavera Ogiho v Panduru.
Rozumím.
Yeah, so I imagine these guys are not pulling back because they got an airstrike and they're being suppressed, so AI would probably go to defend only and pull back.
Rozumím, zavolal jsem to Spartanovi.
Okay, let's check off the comms for a second. Yeah, only one guy in the group survived because everyone else had their stuff unchecked. Ouch. So, Nomas is a player in OFCRA, and I always DM him. Actually, no, his name's Nomad. My bad. Because here's the funny thing. So, Nomad is the guy that comes in and watch it. Wait, no. Nomad's the player. Okay, fuck. Take it back. There's two guys. There's Nomas, who is a viewer in my chat. And I said, oh, there's another guy named Nomas too, and this was like months ago. But his name was actually Nomad. So who the heck do I still hear right now? Because everyone else died.
Nevím, neřeším prostě.
I'm just gonna check everything and then uncheck everything. Because that's how these comms should work, so it is a little buggy, but that's fine. But Nomad, who's the OFCRA player, invited me 2 weeks ago to say, hey, you know, we're doing this, like, Czech group meetup. Would you like to come spectate? And I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck it. Why not? Because, again, one of the things I do from time to time is I do spectate other people's Zeus missions, just so I can learn, you know, what they do and see if there's anything I can adapt in that regard.
Úplně na piču, sice mám všechny, ale jsou úplně na hovna.
Jo, rozumím.
See, I'm trying to figure out where those radio comms are coming from. Jeez, got 3 different nets to manage.
Já nechci vědět, co tam píše teďka na tom streamu ani, vole, úplně jsme mrtky, ty píče, ty vole.
So that's how I was able to get into it. Yeah, they're panders. No problem, Laramus. I'm gonna thank Nomad again for inviting me, but again, he did tell me some people were worried that it would be too slow at some parts and I would be under entertainment. No, this is all part of the experience. To have a hardcore medical Milsim op, this is about the pace you would expect. Especially if, you know, explosions went off and killed almost everyone. Nomad's name is actually Banana Man.
Hey. I'm invisible, wait a moment.
That's okay, Banana Man, how you doing?
Yeah. Good, we are actually 3 here. This is easy.
What's up?
A little surprise.
Alright.
There are 2 invisible. Yeah, we can give you Zeus so you can see enemies too. Because you can see enemy AIs and you just guess.
That's fine. I'm having fun dicking around with the thermal camera to watch everything. But
okay. Do you have some questions? Because we didn't have time to talk about the mission, and I know most of things were in Czech language.
No, I mean, I'll ask chat if they have any questions, but I mean, it's been pretty cut and dry so far. It's been nice.
I liked how you told something they should do, and they did it after about 5 minutes, like mines in forest. And actually, that 2 big explosions were 2 big IEDs, but we tested it on airport, and it looks like IED get too much under the texture, so they can't see it in grass.
Ah.
That's why.
That's how it got so many people. That's fair.
So they are a little bit upset.
Is that a friendly helicopter or an enemy helicopter?
That's a friendly.
Okay.
MI2.
Gotcha. But yeah, no, I'd imagine they're a little upset since I killed a lot of them, so.
Oh, but it was very cool and fun. So. They are just, they are now rolling So if you want to spectate, then you can just again.
Oh,
spectate.
okay, yeah, sure. But thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
Love you.
Have fun.
You too, man. All right. It's actually kind of cool that you get to do a check-in halfway through. It's just I'm a little worried now of going back and forth because Arma's like, okay, I crashed now. Arma, don't. Don't. That was a joke, Arma. Don't fuck me, Arma. I imagine it crashed, though, because of that acre bug anyway. So let's go ahead and watch their, they just landed everyone, I'd imagine. Yep, so they're fully mounted and they're now moving into the third area. Of course they're upset, Banana Man. Plane, why do you call him Banana Man? I feel like there's a story here. And he didn't get mad, though. He just took it and rolled with it. Alright, so I think everything's pulled away from here because of the multiple airstrikes. Because if they didn't, they're very dead. Looks like there's something coming along the flank. And now they're driving away in panic. So I'm wondering if they're going to deploy right here, or if they're just going to continue on to the next objective. Jacko might be crashing out. Oh, his name was Banana Man before he... Gotcha. All right. So I think infantry are being deployed to clean everything up. What I'm curious about is, will there be a infantryman counter push? I doubt it. The AO's too thin. You could probably get away with fielding some in from the side, but... I mean, considering the timing of everything... Since we're like 2 hours in, I don't think that's going to happen. Because we're only about halfway done, you know? I think I nailed my music choice for this stream, though. A little bit of suspense. I love how these two are guns up. You go right here. This guy's just walking forward with his gun down. Then you have gun up, gun up, gun up, gun up. It's that one friend that won't take it seriously. Yeah, there goes Jacko. The militia got him. This is not an SCP op now. I probably will not be doing those for another few weeks and taking a small hiatus from them because, well, I mean, we finished up the current campaigns and trilogies and one-offs I wanted to do with them, so. Move on to the next thing. But I'll probably have one on a Sunday I get back. Which actually would be next Sunday, not tomorrow. One more, and then I go focus on a few other things. He's just here for a good time. Right. Well, he's gone gun up now because now he's in the forest. Yeah, I don't see any thermals from stuff out here. What is this? Oh, I think that's the Humvee that drove off. Yeah, so I got gunned down back there. Now I'd assume they're going to mount up, and that's the next area of conflict. Let me go over and look at what we've got going. Nope, that's not it. It's here. So yeah, if the IEDs are sunk into the ground, I would imagine the IED that's here would also be partially sunk into the ground. just have a little bit of infantry. I'd imagine there's going to be more spawned later. Now it's just a matter of, I think the infantry are going to regroup and push in. Here's what I am going to do, though. I'm going to check off everything on the lead vehicle here.
Spartan, zde Trojan 2-0, zpráva, příjem.
Prosím, Trojan.
Spartan, zde Trojan 2-0, vypadá to, že oblast 3 je čistá, každopádně ten striker, který tam je, tak je mobilní, pouze má vyřazenou věž a zbraň, dal by se již tak později využít, příjem.
Hello, F-14. Oh, Laru's my cousin. He's doing well, too. Or is it a she? I can't tell anymore.
Trojan 2-0, rozumím, příjem.
Yeah, so I'm going to spectate for another 45 minutes, and then I got to bounce, because Bloodway and I have an escape room reservation. And then we'll be back later tonight for some Warcraft 3. Nope, they're speaking Czech. They are Czech Republic players.
Spartan, Citroen 2.0, Oplita 2.0 právě nastupuje do mého panderu, nastoupí na vás, příjem.
Rozumím. Rán 4 taky naložte, Oplita 4 příjem.
Spartan, Citroen 2.0, Oplita 2 sedí, můžeme vyrážet, příjem.
Striker's operation while the gun's dead? Yeah. Because the gun was looking down, it's gotten reset since, but I wonder if they're going to demo it. Probably use one of their ATGMs.
Spartan, Citroen 2.0, máme ten striker podminovat a odpálit, příjem.
Jestli máte miny, tak dvojte, odpalíme to, jako co vypadne, příjem.
Spartan, Citroen 2.0, rozumím, jakmile budeme odjíždět, tak to podminujeme.
The design of this thing's gun is actually pretty badass. This is the box that has all the IFV ammo for the main cannon. And then you got this little side coax here. I actually don't know where it's fed from. Probably like the central, like something down here as well. And then this is where the 2 ATGMs are stored. And they're both still in there. Yep, Pandora. I know that because it's the, it's in vanilla as an AAF vehicle. That's dangerous and you know it. Yep, so they just set off an explosive on it, disabled its engine. Yeah, the coax cannon would be, not cannon, the coax gun would probably be underneath. But in vanilla, it's called a Gorgon. Yeah, or Gorgon if you've only played Arma.
Vyrážíme na ten most, 4 vedeš, jedem.
What do you mean? Because it's just pre-placed stuff in the map. You okay? You okay? I'm sorry, boo. Yeah? Do you want to eat after? Okay. I don't know. I didn't plan for that, because you told me we would just do the escape room, then you wouldn't bug me for the rest of the day. No, we can eat something. I'll just have to move my timeline up. Yeah, because you told me you wouldn't. I said 7:30. I can move it up. I can move it to like 8:30 if you want. It was time for dinner. Okay. And I can do Warcraft 3 drunk, sure. Okay. Okay. Bye, boo. So ooh, there's the ambush starting. That sounded like it came from the left. Which, yes, okay. So we're hearing their comms right now. They're calling for a dismount. Ooh. Nasty GL.
Hráč dole, Lovy dole, Matrix dole a Pandur se moc neschová. A ten Pandur se moc neschovávejte, prosím. Posloupujte kusí.
Yeah, that's where the shell comes out. Yeah, it's got a dual ATGM launcher right there. It's funny because ATGM is anti-tank guided missile that ground Vix carries wave state. AGM, that's air-to-ground missile, which is planes and helicopters have. So, one letter. So the other squad dismounted far. They're now coming up to here. Seeing some smokes pop from this group as they're engaged by the Pander. The guy took his head out and got a buzz cut.
Krosujeme most a kupředu prej. Jsme ve stavu, kdy to zvládnem?
No, Plita 4 tady má nějaké raněné, nevím, jestli mu Pavel.
Jo, jsme. Můžeme pokračovat, dobrý, tak jo, přes most a jdeme dál. Spartan, tady 4, jdeme na to. Jedno koleso v piči,
Oplité to nemám žádný vizor, nevidím kontakty, takže to nám až tak bude pozadní most, tak malá sféra.
Yeah, those just getting chewed up.
Tak jo, ani do nějaký roní. Puky dole.
Rivera, je to tvoje.
Dobrá, zatáhněte Spookyho, zakryt, zbytek si tady... Zbytek mi tady rozestaví rojnici směr west, jo? Rozestavte to tak, teď je poslední na westu a potlačte ten nord.
Oh,
Počkejte, než ho dáme dokupy
he dead.
a ten nord potlačovat, aby tam někdo vylez.
That would be Spooky, the squad leader.
Ty můžeš šetřit, může opravovat, pracujte na tom.
Dobře, všichni tu rojnici směr na nord. Odvíjejte ji tam west.
Jdeme na opravy konec.
Spartan, Aurora 1, zkouška spojení, příjem.
A v tom baráku zároveň je tam Claymorka položená, jo, nechoďte tam.
No, já to vidím len jedno. Nevím. Jo, ale když jsou z nějakého důvodu nepřijde.
Tak tady to jen 4, byste nám dali nějaké náhradní kolo, protože nám smysly, je?
Oh dear.
Aurora tady Spartan, přesuňte se na Battle Point Charlie, over.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There's claymores in here.
Spartan, Aurora 1, zkouška spojení.
Actually, no, I think there's just a claymore.
Aurora tady Spartan, ať se slyším, příjem.
Spartan, tady Trojan 4, jsme zpátky bojeschopní a mobilní příjem.
Ale spacing nastaví strašně moc na sebe, pokud je někdo stabilizovaný, jdeme trošku blíž k tomu plotu, jo? Zůstává tady jenom zdravotníka, ten aktuálně léčí.
Rozumím, dosaďte se za nás, krosíte ten most, příjem.
Já se vás postupem ošetřím všechny, jo?
Oprito posuňte se blíž do města.
Rozumím. Dobré, kluci, jde v pořádku, tak potřebuji aspoň 3 nebo 4 lidi, jdeme blíž k tomu městu, jo? Zbytek nás doběhne. Jdeme v rojnici.
Čekám vedle Panduru.
Dobré, vyrážíme.
Jeez. That didn't really work out for them.
Spartan zde, Trojan 2-0, jsme schopni pokračovat dál do města, čekám na tvoje rozkazy, DM.
Trojan 5 tady Spartan.
Otherwise, everything else in the town seems to be clear.
Pokud zvládneš krosnout tu řeku, můžete postupovat taky, příjem.
I feel like...
Se mnou do toho cílového baráku, budeme vyčistit.
Spartan zde, Trojan 2-0.
I'm gonna get off their comms for a second, because I wanna...
Překročí Roy, tak je budu následovat s Pandurem, příjem.
Papíret, out.
Takhle vidím tě, že tvoji lidi zajišťují jako oranžovou budovu, zastavíme se napravo hodně, budeme ti klid přivládku.
So, here's a catch-22 that actually ends up working out in the Zeus's favor. I feel like, because I was told this would be like a 2 to 3 hour op that started at around 12:30, which was about 2.5 hours ago. So realistically, that means there's only about 19 minutes remaining before that 3-hour threshold is hit. So, in the previous AOs where there was QRF brought in on AOs 2 and 3 in a big chunk of, like, you know, a decent chunk, to help slow the players down on the initial attacks and to add more contact and therefore more content for the actual operation. Where am I going with that? That all made sense, but now that we're getting to the later AOs, the Zeus, because he's running out of time for the slot window, isn't spawning that anymore, but B, it also makes sense because as you go deeper into the enemy AO, all of the QRF would have been already sent, so now there's not a lot to send anymore. So it works out. But at the same time, based off of the pace that the players have gone here, even though they lost about 15 minutes on the IEDs that went off in the previous AO, which was apparently a mistake, because the players couldn't see the textures in the first place, so they had no warning, I feel like this AO was a little too big for that chunk of time, player base considered. Now, if this was a more casual community, let's say TSB, I think this AO could have gotten done in about 2 to 3 hours because, you know, the medical settings are a lot more casual. The player base is a lot more, how would I put it, brash about things? No, that's not the right term. Did that man just die? What? He just rubber banded and snapped his neck. What the fuck? The dude just... okay. Ouch. Big ouch. Blood for the Arbor God. Yeah, right. Well, my point is, when you make the settings more difficult, when you slow down people's pace in an op, you have to make the AO smaller to accommodate that time scale, you know? Because these are like the most hardcore medical settings you can get, essentially. But it's also dependent on how your community works. For most communities, the general rule of thumb is players will start experiencing heavy combat fatigue after 2 hours of gameplay. Well, they'll start getting a little... it'll feel less fun for them. That number changes community to community, group to group, but the average is about 2 hours, from what I've seen based off of going to multiple groups and playing in multiple communities. Milsim players usually can last a little longer, though. See, respawned? Yeah, that was funny. I'm pretty sure he just fucking broke his neck. Like on a texture glitch or something. Because he started flying around. And they will not find him. Yeah, because he kind of went up there on his own, right? That's why you always take a battle buddy. He's probably just as confused why he died. He probably might think there's a guy in that building that like got him or something. Yeah. Real warfare is done at a very slow and cautious pace. So for a Milsim op, this is very accurate to it. I'm not mad at it at all. It's a good, tense operation where you don't know where the enemies are and they can come out and start engaging at any moment. That fits the insurgency vibe. I think what would make it slightly better, at least for this AO, all things considered, since, actually, no, this entire circle is the combat zone, and Nomad's been sticking to that. But if the zone was a little bigger, you'd probably want 1 or 2 garrisons in buildings a little further back. And then maybe like a secondary attack line, but something where the IFEs couldn't immediately hit. Or like guys prone in a building that when they, you know, start hearing the APCs come by, you have one guy kind of poke his head up that's RC'd. And then once you see that the infantry are right outside your door, then you stand everyone up and start engaging. You know, ambushes within towns and shit. Sorry, you're right. Banana Man playing down. Because Nomad is the Zeus. So I'm going to quickly go on my Discord and just tell people that I'm pushing Warcraft 3 back by an hour because Bloodwind wants to hang out. Also, I got to be quiet when I say this, but she, she was only in panties. So I had to make absolute sure my camera was covered just in case if I, like, OBS glitches out and then I hit an arrow key and it goes to my bottom scene, which has my camera in it. Because that's how you get banned off of Twitch. So, yeah. Wouldn't want to accidentally show that off. Yep, so they're clearing this out, and there's probably going to be some random things in there, but I believe this is the last objective up here, so they'll probably push through contact and then go clear that. But overall, so far, not a bad AO. It's been a good choice. Could have been a little shorter in terms of maybe just 4 objectives instead of 5 to fit that, 2 to 3 hour field, get it right in the middle. But I'm just stating that based off of what was advertised. Again, if those 2 IEDs went off, that would have saved an extra 15 minutes. And then it would be, what, 12:30 to 3, which would be 2.5 hours, so there would be enough time to get that last objective. So, but for that, it would have actually been well-timed on the higher end. Well, no, if you stream titties, you get banned, unless it's part of the game itself. So I'm actually technically okay to stream the titties in the Unsun mod, but no IRL titties. That's what gets you in trouble. But games like LA Noire have titties, and people don't get in trouble for that because it's part of the game. But I'm trying to think what else. Balance was perfect for the Zeus's end. The tactics on the player's end could have been a little bit better, and I already explained just how they could have gone up on the dismounts a bit better. Really just a better utilization of smoke, but otherwise it was fine. Air could have been utilized a bit more, but they actually did get air to do one thing, which was a good call, in striking a tree line. I'm trying to think. Asset balance was, I would say, perfect for what was going on. That way gave the IFV APC stuff to do, gave the infantry stuff to do. Nothing felt too overpowered. The only oopsie again was that IED going off. But no, seemed like a good scenario and people were enjoying it except for the IED part. So, fairly good. Things I've learned and I've taken some inspiration from is this is actually just reminding me how much I really want to do that one Bloodlust campaign, which we'll be picking up after the Fallout not New Horizons, it's a different one, the NCR Oregon Trail campaign. After that one finishes, then we're going to be doing a US Bloodlust campaign. Bloodlust is a mod where if you get hit with a tank rifle, you turn into red mist. The map is Roche, Germany. So apparently the IEDs, according to what Nomad, aka Banana Man, said, because someone wants me to keep bringing that up, is there were IEDs around some ammo crates over here. But the IEDs were sunk into the ground because they were placed in Eden Editor, and I guess they were just too far in the ground to be seen. So they went off because a player went next to them because they were pressure plated, or they were remote controlled via cell phone or whatever. The Zeus set them off or the player set them off. And it killed a lot of people, so that took a lot of people out of the experience. Because it's reasonable to have something like that in real life, but, this is a game after all. People want some balance in it. They want a chance. No one wants to come on and get dicked over by something. I just had to bite my tongue because I was going to make a CC07 joke. But anyway, if you don't know what it means, don't worry about it. If you know what it means, you can laugh about it with me. But regardless, no one wants to come in and get dicked around. So let's see if they push up here. It looks like they've actually already been doing recon. Markwald's been marking things, but Thatcher and Jillick are in the Vic, so where's Markwald? Oh, no, they've been using the bird drones. Yeah, so he's on the interface right now. There's the terminal. So Nomas has built this area up. Oh, yes, he did. So some barricade pieces, because none of this was here earlier. Cool. Thought I saw a thermal signature in that tree. Might have just been a little glitch. Yeah, so I got Mark 19 striker right there. They might remount that later. Nothing in that warehouse. Oh, fuck me, a tow. Man, imagine the Americans leaving billions of dollars of military equipment at a base and it all being taken over by insurgents. Wow. What a dystopian future that would be, right? Fucking Kundo's airport. Swear to God. No, wait. And righto, Aquilora, I'm glad you enjoy it. No competent military would do that, no. Not at all, Tritosi. Gosh, why would... No hasty withdrawal and leaving all of this really expensive military equipment that all of your taxpayers paid for. Nah, they would take the time to get all of that just brought back to the States to sit in a warehouse somewhere so it wouldn't fall in enemy hands, right? I'm sure they're locked, right? If they were left behind, they're totally locked and set to explode or something to deny them to get into the fucking hands. Ay. Hey, at least we didn't leave an attack helicopter. Fucking India. Don't you love it when you give a country a gift and the enemies just take the gift and go, oh, this is mine now? Well, no, they have a heli. They have an Mi-35, which is an Mi-24 souped up, but... Because I've seen that people have been saying they have helis plural, and I'm like, wait, so where are the other ones? Because I can only find the one thing about saying they have the single Mi-35, and even then, they won't have the pilots for it. Yeah, Sparky's saying that, but then again, like, considering the financial resources of the Taliban, they probably could find a pilot. Imagine even a warehouse full of anti-tank weaponry. Yeah, or, you know, a crate of 75 sniper rifles. I'm like, oh, they mean the marksman rifles. No, M107s, baby. It's like, oh, okay. Guess they're screwed. Don't underestimate guys on crack. Dude, don't underestimate the Middle East. That's the whole joke. Wait, when did that get here? Why are the clouds yellow? No, why is the sky yellow? What the fuck? Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, we're fighting on Bespin. The Taliban are taking over Afghanistan again, nature's... Jesus, plane down. I wouldn't have said it like that. Durka is Russian slang for psych ward. Oh. Well, now I feel a little, embarrassed about taking the Poggers guys hostage 3 times and just yelling, "Ubba dubba dubba dubba." Oh my god.
Jo, Dave? No? Vem to do ruky, zvednu, dojdi k tomu pandoru a přes Ace. Interakce přes zbroj.
Já to tam nemám.
Máš to bednu v ruce?
Jo.
Interakce přes zbroj.
Yeah, sure, Comic, go for it. They actually flew it. Oh, that's terrifying. But again, they only have one heli, right? Not multiple. Because I actually want to know, because I'm probably going to turn the T2 vet op tomorrow into just a standard T2 op, but we test the bloodlust idea, and we also deal with some of those assets. We don't have links enabled? Okay, I thought we did. I thought I re-enabled them. At least I thought I did, because we also re-enabled VODs. But try posting it, and if it doesn't work, then pass it to Sparky, and he'll post it. See, Plane, you joke about it, but I actually think that could fucking happen. Is that an M2? No, that's an M240 with an MGO scope on it. Huh. No, that's an SU-230 scope on it. It's an SFO. Huh. Neat. Yeah, just share the link and it hopefully will work. Yeah, at least they don't have weapons of mass destruction, right? Yeah. Yeah, we re-enabled links. Cool. I don't know, looking back over the past 20 years of what's happened, not even 20, 30 years of what's happened in the Middle East, I realized that as an American, I think we've been taken advantage of for a lot. It's funny how a lot of people don't see it that way, but whatever. People can be dumb. But also people have agendas to push because they made promises to certain people because those people helped fund their ability to get into their political power, so they just have to pay back on their debts. But anyway, whatever. Bloodway and I have already accepted that we're in the prologue to a dystopian future. You know, in those movies where they go back and say, you know, we were warned. The climate change bill came out and we did nothing. And then Jeff Bezos made his peanuts rocket empire and expanded to the stars, leaving us all behind. That's our future, right there. Hope you're ready for it. How did they get the Mi-35? Because it was left at Kunduz Airport. The Indians gifted it to the Afghanistan government to help them in the fight, and the Afghans did what they always do, and the ANA just ran and fled and left it. And the Taliban captured it. Now they're gonna use it. There's a lot of people in the Middle Eastern countries that just don't want to fight. They'll run. So, in all honesty, in my opinion, you should just kind of let that area sort itself out. And if it becomes an issue later down the line, then just do what we did in the frickin' with Saddam Hussein, just bomb it all back to the Stone Age, but only if it becomes a threat, you know? Turns out giving modern equipment to badly trained, badly led conscript armies is a bad idea. Who knew? Yeah, right? Because surely they'll fight for their homes, right? Nah, fam. Just look at all the flooding of refugees into Europe. Look at all the problems that's created. But anyway, we're getting way too political for this stream. We're just killing time for the next combat feature. So to the Czech players watching back and they're really mad at me for saying all this stuff, I'm sorry. We're just killing time. The Russian... Oh, yeah, definitely. Here's a more outlandish theory for you. Putin has control of the animals. He has actual Russian drones that are birds. All right, here's how I know. There is a meme out there of he notions to a bird and the bird salutes him with one of his wings, okay? That's all the proof you need. If the bird salutes back, and it's a government surveillance drone. That's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke, all right? But... oh, man. And there's pictures of him riding bears, right? I'm pretty sure they're Photoshop, but still. He just goes from being president to prime minister. Easy. Thought that was Bill Gates? Well, Bill Gates doesn't have footage of him saluting. Notioning to a bird and the bird salutes back, man. Yeah, Twitcher, Bloodwind was saying that too. I mean, only recently, young girls in Cabal got all those freedoms, such as the ability to drive, and there was some real progress being made, and under the Taliban, it's all going to be taken away. Because if you look at the photos of the Middle East before they became, I forget the proper term, so I'm going to say a theocracy, where they were really religion-focused. I mean, people had, you know, the genders had equal rights. People were enjoying the boons of, slow progress of modernization, and that all got taken away. It's a shame. Oh, yeah, pre-Taliban Cabal were amazing. That was what, back in the 70s. Yeah, exactly. I remember studying that in, I was in International Baccalaureate, higher level history, and that was one of the fields of study we did. And it was crazy just to see, like, people would refuse to believe that was the Middle East, like, looking through our textbook, but damn, you know? Well, the Middle East pre-war was very prosperous because of, you know, the discovery of oil and everything. And that's how they were getting a lot of their money. And then it brought war. But anyway, combat's beginning. We're having the IFE try to take on the tow launcher. Gunner just went down. Here, we're going to go ahead and listen to this group's comms now. For this last little bit. Oh, she's gonna kill me. All right, I'm gonna let the contact die down, but I have to be out of here in another, like, 10 minutes. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, right, crew? Oh, something bad happened. What caused that? Did people dismount while the Vic was driving again? No, maybe the Mark 19 doesn't have eyes. So what? What the heck just caused that? Oh, not at the infantry. They've already suffered enough. Yeah, so now you got the Mark 19 firing at the Pander. Well, Comic, it'll never be over, though, because of how the British screwed up the Palestine Mandate post-World War II. That's why all these conflicts exist. But anyway, let's focus back on the AO here. Maybe it was the static that got some good shots in as they were dismounting. You got guys surrendering. MRAP.
No, tady nemáme 2 lidi zraněný, jo? Rozumím, zkuste se dát nějak dokupy, my vás zatím pokryjeme s Pingourem.
Často je to zlaté, To můj taky asi nemám. Leží tam.
I think they have radio animations.
Mám pokračovat v zastavit.
I think Dundee's sorting that. Ooh, was that the
Stáhněte se na okraj toho lesa, jo? Ať nejste takhle na otevřeném poli.
Yes!
Rozumím, co vem za vama.
That's how the radio works. True, Twitcher, true. That was just a glitched out animation. See, because he's supposed to take it out like that.
Přes to otevřený prostranství a vyhodím mu města, protože okraj jsme vyčistili.
Jo, my máme zraněný, ošetřujeme.
Rozumím.
Kadlíku, jak jste na tom?
Pořád bez pulzu některý, musíme se jim věnovat.
Jo, rozumím. Čtyři, zde 2, příjem.
A tady 4 pošli.
4 zde 2, zatím si dáváme zraněný dokupy, dej nám tak 3-4 minuty a budeme bolestně klíčem.
A tady 4 berou na vědomí, my zatím postupujeme.
Alright, so one of the Panders, that's really
úplně.
risky that it pulled up on its own. Let's knock that guy out. Because this is RPG bait right here. I'm not gonna lie, if I was, even if this was a hardcore situation, I would boop that thing. And I think it actually got booped already. It's just pulled into the town on its own. I mean, hit that puppy. Because these Vics should purely be for Overwatch, and if they're gonna come into the town, they need to be escorted by infantry. But then again, we're also seeing some of these AIs just surrender outright, so.
Jako, jak jste na tom?
Vydrž, zjišťuju.
Rozumím.
Oop. That's not good.
Tyrone, máme 2 KIA, jo?
Rozumím, jak chceš překročit tohle otevřený prostranství.
Ale hodíš nás k tomu cílovému baráku, jo? My k tobě nastoupíme.
Rozumím, nastupujte.
Oh no. Oh no. One guy got hit by someone in a building back there. The Pander didn't notice.
Panduru!
That guy just got taken out. Yeah, none of these guys have AT. The Vic's just driving up and annihilating people. Where did that striker go? It's the Humvee. No, she fucking ran. She's making a run for it. Uh-oh. she's holding now. Someone dismounted. Oh, balls. Well, it tried to retreat. Unfortunately, the fact that they can't drive on bridges really well stopped them, because that's how AI works.
Já vidím 3-1 ještě za tou barikádou na severu.
So I assume they're talking about the surrendered guys, because we're listening to these guys as comms. Now, I just want to look at this base here. Yep, they started fortifying it up.
Pokračujeme dál, čistíme ty baráky.
Now, unfortunately, I do have to jump, because I do have a reservation in 38 minutes, and I still have to get dressed, and I have to make sure Bloodwing gets dressed, because she's riding around with only panties on. So, we'll be back around 8:30 for Warcraft 3, guys. I hope you enjoyed spectating this as much as I did. We also had some pretty fun conversations in the middle, but otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one.